All right, welcome. If you've ever wanted to jump in and start creating your own digital maps, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to stop talking about theory and actually get our hands dirty. We're installing QGIS, a totally free, incredibly powerful mapping tool, and getting you set up for your very first project.
So you're probably looking at your screen thinking, okay, I am ready to build some amazing maps, but where do I even begin? Just getting the software installed and running can feel like a huge wall to climb. But don't you worry, we've all been there, and we are going to walk through this together, step by step. Here's the goal for today, and it's a simple one. We're going to get you from zero to confidently launched. By the time we're done here, you won't just have QGIS installed on your computer. You'll actually get what you're looking at and be totally ready to dive in.
Okay, before we even think about clicking that download button, let's do a quick pre-flight check. A little bit of prep right now is going to save you a ton of headaches later on, trust me.
First up, let's make sure your computer is ready. Now, QGIS is pretty flexible, but you'll want at least 4 gigs of RAM. To be honest, 8 is way better. It'll just make everything run a lot smoother. You'll also need about 2 gigs of free space on your hard drive. And it works on Windows, Mac, or Linux, so pretty much everyone is covered.
Now, listen up, because this part is absolutely critical. You only want to download QGIS from its official home, qgis.org. I mean it. This is the only way you can be sure you're getting the real virus-free software and not some weird knockoff that's floating around out there.
When you get to the download page, you're going to see 2 main options, the latest release and the long-term release. Now, the latest one has all the shiny new features, but it can be a little unpredictable. For anyone just starting out, I can't recommend the long-term release, or LTR, enough. It's rock solid, way more stable, and perfect for learning the ropes.
Okay, once you have the file, the installation itself is a piece of cake. Just double-click the installer, accept the license agreement, which is for open source software, by the way, which is awesome, and just stick with the typical installation. No need to get fancy. Click Install, let it work its magic, and when it's done, hit Finish. That's literally it.
All right, QGIS is installed. Let's fire it up and take a quick grand tour of the interface. Knowing your way around your workspace is half the battle.
Way up at the very top, you've got the menu bar. Just think of this as the command center for your entire project. Need to create something new, save your work, or edit some data? It all starts right up here.
Right below that menu, you'll see a bunch of icons. Those are your toolbars, and these are going to become your best friends fast. They're just shortcuts for all the stuff you'll be doing constantly, zooming in and out, moving the map around, you know, the basics. Over on the side, you should see the Layers panel. This panel is, without a doubt, one of the most important things on the screen. Every piece of data you add, roads, rivers, property lines, shows up here as its own layer. You can turn them on and off here, and even reorder them to change how your map looks.
And that big empty space in the middle, you can't miss it. That's the map canvas. This is the main stage. This is where your map comes to life and where you get to see and interact with all your data.
Often, right next to your Layers panel, you'll find the Browser panel. This thing is basically a file explorer that's built right into QGIS. It is so useful. You can find your data right here and just drag it and drop it straight into your project. Super easy. And finally, I want you to look all the way down at the very bottom of the window. See that thin little bar? That's the status bar. Now, it's easy to ignore, but don't. It gives you super important info in real time, like your mouse coordinates, the map scale, and the project's coordinate reference system. We'll talk more about that last one in a second. So, let's just make one thing really clear. What's the difference between a panel and a toolbar? It's simple. Panels are there to show you information, like your list of layers. Toolbars, on the other hand, contain tools, so you can do something. Knowing that little difference makes it way easier to find things. Okay, the grand tour is over. You know the lay of the land. Now let's actually do something and run through your very first, most essential commands. All right, if you take away only one single thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Before you do anything else in a new project, always set the Coordinate Reference System, or CRS. The CRS is basically the set of instructions that tells QGIS how to flatten the round Earth onto your flat computer screen. If you get this wrong, none of your maps will line up. It's a mess.
And guess what? Setting it is incredibly easy. Just look down at that status bar we just talked about. In the bottom right corner, see that little code? Click on it. A window will pop up and you can pick the right coordinate system for whatever area you're mapping.
The second essential command, saving your project. Please get into the habit of doing this early and often. Just go up to the project menu, click Save As, find a folder, give your project a name that makes sense, and you're good to go. It'll save as a .qgz file.
Whew, we've covered a lot of ground pretty quickly. So let's wrap this up with a few final checkpoints just to make sure you're ready for your mapping journey.
Here are a few common traps I see people fall into. We already covered picking the LTR version and setting your CRS right away. But also keep an eye out for your antivirus software. Sometimes it can block the installation. And, of course, double-check that you have enough free disk space before you even start.
So, to recap, what are the most important takeaways? 1. Download only from the official site. 2. Choose the LTR for a stable experience. 3. Get familiar with your workspace, the panels, toolbars, and Canvas. And 4. Save your work constantly. Building these habits now will make your life so much easier.
And that's it. You've actually done it. You successfully installed the software, you took a tour of your new digital workspace, and you know the 2 most important commands to get started. You are now officially ready to start mapping.
So you're at the starting line. The tools are ready. The canvas is blank, and a whole world of data is waiting for you. The only question left is, what story will your first map tell?